Welcome, my Blenderhead colleagues. I am Salvador García Luque. In today's video, we are going to talk about the precision movement tools and also the tools to snap or align the strips to a fixed point in our video editor. In the previous video, we saw how we can move our strips and lock them in an X coordinate or a Y coordinate. That is, they only move in a horizontal or vertical direction. In addition to how we can cut these strips. Well, this time we are going to delve a little deeper into the movement tools, and we are going to meet the tools with which we can make movements in more detail. That is, they allow us to have much more control over the point at which we are going to leave our strips, if we have the need to move them to an exact point. The first thing we are going to meet is the slowest movement. This type of movement is achieved by moving the strips either with any of the three known methods and holding pressed Shift while we move them. As you can see, the movement is much less strong. If I release Shift, we can see that the strips follow the cursor perfectly. But if I hold Shift, the strips move much slower than the cursor. This allows us to be much more exact in the movement of our strips. After that, we have the precise frame movement. If we press the G key, or we drag, or use the menu, under any of these options, we can see that the menu here disappears, but these indications replace it. There are indicating, for example, that we are in frame 117.5 of the original position of the video and audio strips that we are moving. It also indicates us that we have pressed the G key and gives us other options that are present in here. Having done this, we are going to press Escape. Now we can move again. Press the X to keep it in a horizontal direction. We can press again and we remove it, as you can see. If we want to move our strips precisely 2 seconds, we can do it in the simplest way. The frame rate or average of frames that we have on this occasion is 25. If we want to move it 2 seconds, we know that 1 second is 25, but we want it to be 2. So we can press 2 times the asterisk on the number pad to our right and subsequently press 2, which right here we can see that give us a total of 50. And that's what has moved the cursor. However, the operation is not finished until we press Enter or the Select button. This is then that we see the menus again. This indicates that the action has already been completed. We can also move with subdivision if we want to, or in fractions. But we have problems when we are talking about subtracting. And even with sums as well. That elsewhere is not a big problem, actually. For example, if we want to increase a channel here in the bars, that is very simple. We can do all these operations easier here. In fact, we can use mathematical operations, but we need to change the Blender configuration to be able to do it. And it's not really essential. Maybe later we will address this configuration that can be done as a bonus. But for the moment, we will keep these operations simple. And we will have to do them by hand or with a calculator, which is the simplest. There is a third way to move the strips, and we have it here. In the sidebar, in the Strip tab, under the Time section, and it's also very simple. Here in the Start bar, we can directly place the frame in which we want the strip to move. However, if we have a video and an audio strip, we have to put the same number for each of the strips. These are the three precision movements that we have in the video editor. But we have another tool that helps us to have precision. If we place the cursor at the point where we want the strip to start, say here, or maybe here at 870, we select the strip that we want to start where the cursor is, we press Shift S, or we go to Strip Transform, and we select Snap Strips to the current frame for it to paste the strips to the current frame. Shift S. As you can see, the strips have moved. You have to be a bit cautious with this. Suppose we have these two strips in a row, but cut together. We want them to stay that way. But we want to move these two towards here, and these that remain united to the second ones from here. We press Shift S and we see that this does not really happen. So we have to select these two strips that we want to move and move the rest accordingly, either by moving the G and X or pressing the backspace key or return key. You know, the key above the enter button. And that's what we got from the snap. Well, with this we conclude with the video on precision movement tools and snapping. The only thing left for me is to tell you to please subscribe, activate the notification bell, and give thumbs up. I am Salvador García Luque. I hope you have found this video informative. See you in the next one. Bye!